Hi, my name is Laura Zempel. I am an Emmy nominee for editing the pilot episode of Beef Season 2.
Hi, I'm Lauren Connelly, ACE, and I'm one of the editors of Beef Season 2, and I've been nominated for an Emmy for the episode The Increasing Flimsiness of Any Certainties About the Future. So Beef Season 2 is actually completely different from Beef Season 1. It's a really true anthology, and I've actually never seen anything quite like it. We have a completely different cast, completely different storyline. It's a whole new Beef.
We have a lot of humor, but we also have a lot of darkness. I think we deal with a lot of very complex themes about humanity, the nature of relationships, resentment, growing older, wanting more, striving beyond your means.
And really you're dealing with all of these characters who are making really bad choices, but you're getting to understand why and all the deep-seated issues that are making them do that.
I think the way we're able to tackle such heavy topics is with a very light touch and a lot of humor. And I think that is really where Beef shines, is we are thinking about complex themes, but we're having fun while we do it.
어우야, 박사님, 그 힘이 보통이 아니세요?
One of the reasons I was so excited to work on Beef is I love laughing in very dark, inappropriate moments. And Sonny's tone of voice and his sense of humor is so specific, and the way he's able to weave comedy and tension and drama all in one scene is really amazing to me, but it does require a lot of deliberate choices in the edit. Every choice we make is very deliberate. We talk a lot about the perspective character in a scene, whose scene it is, and that helps guide us a lot of the time because we know then who we need to relate to the most, what we need to get across with their character in that moment or in that scene, and that's where we tend to focus. And we use a lot of tricks of shot size. You know, we choose things very specifically. You know, a lot of times there's this Beef rubric where the perspective character is in clean coverage and the other characters are in dirty coverage. We'll break that rule sometimes based on the needs, but we really discuss every choice throughout the entire process. And that's, in the end, how you balance those things, is because we're making sure that we are not wasting a frame. Knowing when to cut, to me, is always a very instinctual thing. You know it when it feels right. I think editing is very musical, it's very rhythm-based. You feel it in your body when it's time to cut. In a scene like the China Bamboo House scene, a lot of that, there's some comedic timing in there too, with the way his eyes are moving. You know, you can feel that rhythm looking one way, looking the other. You can just feel that is the moment to cut. You want to see who he's looking at, what they're doing. Same when Ashley's reacting. You can feel that rhythm in the eyes. I mean, there's in the blink of an eye. I mean, it's all about rhythm and feeling that natural conversation. So to me, no matter what genre or what scene, a lot of when to cut is instinctual, but it also has to do with what you need to get across in the scene. So in that particular scene, for the second half, we really want to see Ashley putting two and two together. So we always want to be cutting to her and reacting in the appropriate moments for that, versus the first half of the scene where we want to see Austin squirming, being caught between these two women. So it's like, what are you trying to get across in a scene? And make sure you're focusing on that.
So we didn't have a chance to connect about the vision.
So you can see here this is starting in Austin's perspective. So we've started on this clean shot of him and we're slowly pulling out, and you're about to see that he's seated between the two women he's caught between his feelings for.
Her husband is a prominent surgeon in Seoul, and he is a bit more reluctant to retire.
So if I speed through a little bit and we go a little further, you'll see as I'm scrolling, a lot of the scene occurs in Austin's looks, from him to Eunice and then him to Ashley sometimes. And a lot of that scene is living here in how he's reacting to them. And you'll see as we're going through, in this first half of the scene where it's Austin's scene, we actually never have the women speak directly to each other. They're always relating through Austin.
I went once when I was little, but I don't really remember anything.
You must go back. It's changed so much.
I love change so much.
And now this moment, we're actually changing to Ashley's perspective. You see that we now have her in clean coverage, And we're really focusing on her looks and her reacting to Austin.
I transferred to an international school in London before college in Tokyo, my master's at NYU, then back to...
It's a tough thing to balance the humor, the comedy, the suspense. Like, there are many scenes where all three of those things are going at once. I think Jake, Sunny, Lauren, and myself, we all love to laugh when things are dark and probably too tense. It's just sort of a nervous response. We just laugh, and our actors are so good and they're so comedic, and Sunny's writing is so rich that the humor is sort of inherent. And I think when I'm editing, I'm always trying to make myself laugh and just stay entertained, because I like a little bit of humor in everything that I watch. And so the humor is always sort of the undercurrent, and then it's just breaking down the scene. Is the scene meant to be dramatic? Is this scene actually where we get to breathe a little bit? I find that holding on a character for a beat or two before they say something really does help amplify the tension, because it actually adds a little bit of suspense where the audience is wondering, what are they going to say? Are they going to get away with it? Are they registering what's happening? Are they going to switch courses? Is the scene going to take a turn? And so I find that letting our actors' microexpressions do some of the talking allows the audience to lean in a little bit further. And so I'm always trying to find anything that feels authentic in the performance. Anytime something can be conveyed non-verbally, I'm always seeking that out. The Josh and Ashley scene at the beverage cart, where he's threatening her and she's not quite understanding what he's saying. I love their performances so much, and I think that's a great example of tension, subtext, humor, the way they play it. It's such a cat and mouse game, and leaving a little more space within those shots. So holding on Josh a little bit longer while he just tries to suss Ashley out, letting Ashley's brow furrow and head shake as she's not quite understanding what Josh is saying. There's so much tension in their relationship and the way they play off of each other that I found actually keeping that scene a little bit slower added to the tension. Early on when I was doing my assemblies, I cut it pretty tight so that all of the dialogue was happening a little fast, and I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel the threat. And so I found when I actually slowed it down and let these moments breathe and held on a character a little bit longer, you really felt the danger that Ashley is in, and you really felt Josh threatening her and really not wanting to have to spell this all out for her, but she just doesn't get it. So again, the humor, the tension, it's all right there in that scene.
Sorry?
In this scene with Josh and Ashley at the beverage cart, it starts with this gorgeous panning shot. I know the camera is moving, so I know I'm supposed to start the scene here. And this scene is just basically a little cat and mouse. So we are trying to have as much tension in the scene as possible. He's framed above hers, which is really nice because he feels more intimidating.
No, yeah, I've never
We
seen so
want
many
Ashley to
people in my
feel
life.
scared. We want Josh to feel powerful. He's on the attack. She's on the defensive. Her little expressions, she's so good. Just laughing, playing it off. And then here, Josh goes in for the kill. And you can see that this is actually a different take than these earlier ones, where he's a little higher. You feel the shift a little bit.
Yeah, my wife said he just stopped by her place.
Your fiance just came to my house.
You did?
So now he's on the attack. Ashley's defenseless. We have this great reaction shot from her. She looks defeated. Her eyes go down to the wallet. I'm able to use this insert of the wallet here. She rejects him, turns him down completely. We get this great reaction shot from Josh, and now we use our two shot. This is great because this serves as a beat change within the scene. So now Josh is trying a different tactic. The camera is moving in on them. We actually ended up doing a little resize in here to help this camera move. I think we extended it just so it would go a little longer and feel a little tighter on them. We added a push in on Ashley as well here to match the movement, because sometimes going from a shot that's moving to a shot that's static can be really tricky. So we used the resize and just added keyframes to help this transition so that you would feel this steady tension escalate as the camera is pushing in on both of them while he's threatening her job. And then here, She understands what's at stake,
The
that Josh will
exclusivity,
fire her if she
the
doesn't
discretion.
get in line. She backs
We'll need a
off,
place where
these
they can feel
push-ins in
safe.
camera. So we were just trying to match what was in camera so that you would feel this steady tension escalate as the camera is pushing in on both of them while he's threatening her job. And then here,
'Cause if you don't,
she understands what's at stake, that Josh will fire her if she doesn't get in line. Camera stopped moving, she's
No,
agreeing.
No, I want to make believe, sir.
yeah,
Yes.
you do. Good. That's
She
great to
backs
hear.
off. We're back to the two-shot, everything's
You're doing
fine,
great.
beat
Keep up the good
change,
work,
Josh
all
is
right?
leaving. Now this scene has become Ashley's scene in this close-up right here because she is processing what just happened. And we as an audience were holding with her, so hopefully we identify with her. Josh asked her to pick up some balls.
You mind grabbing those?
She laughs, he dries off. This was a fun little improv that he did. It's not really an outtake, but the White Claw spills. It made me laugh in dailies. I have a certain color that I use for my markers. It's cyan. And when I see something I really like in dailies, I'll put a cyan locator on it so that I know to come back to it. And I remember this one in particular really made me laugh. And I'm really glad we got to keep it in the show. I really like being an editor because I think we have a lot of say in the final product. I think inherently there's a little bit of our DNA that gets put into these projects, and I love how collaborative it is. I mean, it's a great balance where a lot of times you are in a room by yourself trying to figure something out, but I think it's why I like working in television so much is because I have other editors around, I have my assistant editors, I can bring them in, I can ask their opinions, and then it's just all at my fingertips. I can create anything, I can take their ideas, try it. If it doesn't work, try something else. And just the process of discovery in editing is so much fun because someone can give you a note and you try it and it's not the right note, but it might spark a different idea. And I think it's so tangible. You know, if you're a writer, you're coming up with an idea out of nowhere. But when I'm editing, I have all of the pieces in front of me and I can only do so much. And I really like those limitations.
What I think is the most important thing about filmmaking is connecting people. It's allowing us to understand others, to empathize with them, to tell different types of stories, to make people feel seen. And I think so much of that is part of the editing job. It's, you know, it's the heart of it, you know, it's making sure people understand what's happening and understanding the characters that you're showing them. And I love being able to do that. Even if it's just a pure moment of entertainment, that can be a big deal for people. It's really important to give people a break from daily life. It's really important to help them understand different types of people and see new things. And I think being able to do that for a living is a real privilege.